Hello. VLC broke, so I guess we're starting early. That's unfortunate. One second. I guess the song did end. It completely broke. Also, that's the wrong volume. Okay. Um, I don't know if the audio is anything correct. I hope it is. If it's not, let me know. I've been ridiculed over my audio balancing, so oh well. Hello and welcome to a live stream on the internet where we're gonna continue doing stupid Vulkan stuff. It's gonna be fun in air quotes. I hope. So our last night I'll get this by myself. I didn't actually do it on stream. Or yesterday we basically finished chapter 7 of the tutorial, which was some finalizing to basically be able to create a rotating cube on the screen. Now we're gonna move on to importing models, which I already started doing, which was I sound alright. That's assuring. I was also told that my font was too small, and personally I like it when my font isn't like huge, but if people can't see it, then I mean, what's the point of live streaming? Anyway, so this is what I worked on yesterday. Basically this allows us to import models from a file. I actually don't know what like the format is, but I assume Blender models would work, for example, because it's a very common program. And essentially what it can do is it can fix, if you set it up properly, to fix the different properties, like normal, vertices, and then a bunch of other nonsense. Seemed useful. I may end up just using this as like you always have the default load model, because it's Minecraft, and I don't want to force people to create their own like obnoxious custom normals. So anyway, moving on, we're working on textures, and I wrote this little nice comment for me last night. Anyway, so what we need to do next is right. Well, that's a lot of stuff to start with. Okay, so a texture, as it may. Now, these are going to be, let's see. It really depends. Not sure what that is. Let's go ahead and pull up. I always like to pull up the source code for these tutorials just to make sure that I'm following it properly. And so this is, we'll rename it to Vulkan texture, because that's what my naming scheme wants me to do. Anyway, so let's go ahead and copy these imports. They won't supposedly need them, excluding that one. And now we will continue. So let's see. So the texture class, of course, is going to be for obviously loading images so that they may be put onto meshes. I can send the tutorial. It's hold on. Do I have it here? I guess it's technically a book, but it's called itself. It's this. Whole lot of fun. Now, this is not the extent to which I plan on making my game, or my game. I guess it's not technically my game. The mod here, but it will help a lot. I hope, in getting everything working. Okay, so that's not what I wanted. I want to copy the constructor. And there is a lot of differences. So, it's funny is it doesn't actually show any of these fields either in the tutorial, which is very confusing in my opinion. So I cannot stand when people don't put the pointer properly. Let's see. It's got shadow. It's good to. I was just asking like, how do I get started with Vulkan on the Lightweight Java Game Library Discord? Someone's just like, yo, this tutorial. I'm like, okay. So, there you go. And it seems to take advantage of a lot of really nice utilities, so I don't have to write as much stuff, which I'm very happy about, because Minecraft, oh boy, it's a thing. Well, the old Minecraft texture engine is a labyrinth, and I'll have to integrate some of it, but not nearly as much, it looks like. I will be able to natively have all of these very nice things without having to have them manually programmed into the thing. Each texture is literally an array of integers in Minecraft. So, I mean, it makes sense, but you can just see the raw code and have to I would have had to program in map level or map levels and anisotropic filtering and stuff like that. But it looks like these APIs can help me do that without banging my head against a wall. So, all right. Where's the interesting? Oh yeah, got it. Of course, we gotta do the pointers. So, okay. From the looks of things, the MIP levels is hard coded at 1 for some reason. This is you may identify the C++ here, by the way, because that's what this means. So, XY, channels and file desired channels. Okay, so that's RGBA, I would imagine. The real question is, does it not tell us what the MIP levels are? Or is that like a... I don't... because... from what I remember, you need, well, no you don't. That's for anisotropic filtering, isn't it? Where you need specific textures, created for each individual thing. Yeah, okay, yeah. The, because I know that, well, Minecraft uses PNG files, so it's fine. But... Minecraft just generates the, MIP mapping? So, hold on. Texture. Oh yeah, here it is. You guys ready for GL11? It's super fun. Yeah, generate MIPs. That'll be fine. Oh boy, I remember whenever I had to do this. It was so fun. I didn't write everything myself, but I had to freaking understand it or have even a vague semblance of how to use it. Actually, I don't know where I'd be looking for this. There's nothing in here. I think it would be in, hold on. No, maybe in Stitcher? Maybe. I don't think so, though. No, Stitcher, that was a whole thing. That's how I was able to do my render runs thing in the past. But, I don't know if that's going to be useful in the future. Anyway. We will press on for the moment and banish today's fun element. That should be close. Anyway, I think we can close this too. Create SDG buffer. Okay. So, load the image file. Yep. We'll create a Vulkan buffer, which we use to transfer the contents of the image, I assume, to the GPU. It's interesting to review the flags. I don't just read the tutorial out loud. I mean, I'm just reading it. This is read along, Vulkan edition. No. Okay. Yeah. He's be able to be sampled, which is what he's just talking about these flags. Very interesting. How many Oh, that's a lot of them. I don't even want to absorb that right now. Not that it's really necessary, but maybe we'll come back to it later. Anyway, so we'll create a new buffer. I find it so fun that it asks for a device, but there can only be one device, so it doesn't make any sense why we need that to be a parameter for every single thing in the entire tutorial. It's like, just make one static instance. Let's see, is that a Vulkan buffer? Let's see. It's just size. I assume, so I should probably get this corrected, considering this is something that I differ from the tutorial. When creating a Vulkan buffer, you have the allocation size. Totally, you'll have more than one device. We're gonna settle. So I was actually considering more than one device, but people told me it was stupid, so I didn't do it. So yeah. Otherwise, I would have left that there. But the game, I don't think the game needs multiple devices. We're past the era of SLI/Crossfire, unless SLI/Crossfire can work driver-wise as a single device, which would be helpful. So in the Vulkan buffer, whenever it allocates the memory for it, of course you can get the allocation size. What are the circumstances, or I guess the better question, is the only circumstance where it would not return the size that you asked for in bytes would be if you're out of memory. Because I don't see why else it would complain. So that's why I have it here to where if it's not equal to the size that you asked for, I'm just gonna remove the game from existence. Does that exist? Can I actually use this? Hey. Anyway. Import java.lang. I hope. We're done here. That's not what that means? Okay, what am I doing wrong then? Hold on. So, the allocation size right here. What's wrong with this? You should just trust it? Why would you trust it over the request? Because the request would be the amount that you wanted to fill it with. That would be what your expectation is. Why would it be more preferred to just... What? It can't be less than? Okay. So we should do less than size, which means it'll never activate. So if that's the case, which is honestly interesting, I did not know that was a quirk. size is going to be equal. Therefore, hold on, let's see what it wants. So it wanted. You don't think it could be less than? I will. Would it make more sense to make it for this? Because I don't really want to have like two stupid different sizes, which is requested in the real size. Just have a size, which is the safe size, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I would probably think. I would hold on, I can change this very easily. Don't you gotta love compound statements in Java? They're totally not confusing to people who are trying to read the syntax. But they are convenient. Alright. Okay. Very nice. I'm not really sure why we use the remaining but maybe that's because it's reverted to position is 0. So I guess that would make sense. One thing I cannot stand Java users for is their proclivity to just create local variables for no good reason, rather than just pasting the thing you want at the location you want. It infuriates me. Okay. And now we move on. Next thing. Okay. Yeah. Except for it's supposed to be free, because this is... Why is this in multiple places? Hold on a minute. Oh, it's public. That would make sense. I don't know why it's public, but it is. And then, I know this might be shocking to some people, but we can just make final variables public. I don't understand. There's no good reason to just... Also, this is a public class because textures. Also, this bothers me. Okay. Okay. Record the texture. We need to transition it to the correct layout. Already tired of Vulkan, as you can probably tell. It's very elaborate, you could say. So I'm not really quite sure why the staging buffer needs to have a separate thing here. Anyway, so we now have all right. Hold on. Yep, void. Okay. Now we have more methods, I imagine. Oh boy. And then we have these silly things called flags, which very much will help us here. I'm just gonna copy this because I can't be bothered. Okay, so now we have to figure out what those methods are. If this, yeah. I don't want to make it to where it just shoves errors in the console, because apparently it will be doing that if we have multiple models of the same texture. Alright. The worst part is if I'm trying to make this engaging for people to actually watch, is that I can't actually read the tutorial properly and understand it. I just have to keep writing code. So, it's kind of a curse. This is he? Okay. So. Okay. These flags are essentially the order of the of course the layout, but to essentially where they're going to go and what their visibility is. So it's going to start from being undefined, of course. It starts undefined because it's new, and it goes to where it's being sent to its destination, and then after it's sent to its destination and the data is copied, then it puts it in read-only mode for shares. Obviously, that's simple to understand if you understand Vulkan, but I don't, so I hope that helps. Q family ignored. Okay. I don't know if that's important for later, but I hope that Q... I don't actually know if you need multiple queues if you're going to do multi-threaded rendering, but because this is not a multi-threaded rendering tutorial. So once we have everything set in place, then we'll have to go back and revise all of it to make sure it's up to snuff, I guess. Problem is I just don't know, so I'm just not gonna mess with it yet. Okay. Oh, yep. I swear people and they're not making their code impact bothers me so much. Okay. I know that's the thing that I'm bothering to complain about, but isn't require good. That's probably a good thing, man. Why would you want multiple queues? I don't really understand the full purpose of a queue, so multiple command pools. Yeah. So the way I have it currently set up, this can change, of course, is that there is a main rendering thread, and then there is a pool of essentially worker threads that are given small tasks, and then they complete the task and they move on to a new task. And I don't know if that's how it would work optimally, but I think that would make sense. And so I don't know how to adjust that for what I'm doing, but I guess we'll figure out later. If you don't have any answers for the moment. Okay. So. Yeah. For me, the goal with the multi-threaded course is basically just to have some tasks complete, and then the main thread essentially assembles those things, those tasks into, I guess, would you describe like real things to be rendered to the screen? It really depends, because of course, well, I guess it depends on the fidelity of the game, but the primary... I guess I can also do it staged, but, the first thing, of course, is to get your vertices in order. Second thing would be to apply your shaders. And then I need to do lighting, post-processing, etc. I don't know. Something to that effect. And you'd obviously need each of those steps to be completed before you do the next one. So... the main thread for most of the time is working as a clock to make sure that everything gets done, and then I can move on to the next step where it divvies out the tasks again. The only thing I guess you could think of is, can be a problem is, there's could be wasted time if it's not divvied up evenly as physically possible. So, where they're basically almost always done at the same time. So, I don't know. I guess we will see. I assume what's kind of nice about this as well, with this, I've heard with Vulkan, is that you can multi-thread load, well, I actually do that with OpenGL apparently too, but multi-thread load textures and assets in general, which could be nice. However, those would probably have their own, those probably wouldn't be in the rendering pipeline itself, I would imagine. I don't know. Got it. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, I think that dynamic loading of assets is kind of silly most of the time, at least in the context of Minecraft, because so just called buffer, okay. Because in terms of Minecraft, like, the mesh would have to be updated constantly every single time a new asset is loaded. So, that wouldn't really make sense. And, well, I guess we can always experiment later. First step, get it working. Second step, make it look pretty. Third step, make it optimized. Okay. Now, that doesn't mean the architecture itself is not going to be optimized in the manner in which I would like it to be. It just means that I won't go through and, like, fine-tune everything until we have it set up. Because I don't want to have to remake everything again. I already spent so long multi-threading Minecraft. And then Then I realized, oh, it still sucks. Okay. Just because the API is super old. Alright. Believe that would be there for. Oh, here we go. We'll just leave us here for now. So indexed linked hash map. Bruh. Is that a Java util thing? I've never heard of that before. Alright. Actually, it's not Vulkan. It's just texture cache. There's nothing Vulkan in here. In terms of the like methods access. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. It smells funny, but it works really well.
Hey Rita. So we can create textures, but we cannot.
Can you choose anywhere else?
We can't remove them.
Okay, I think you're good.
Well, I guess there could just be one static instance, especially if it needs to be implement some like interface. I believe that's what it's called. So, hold on. I forget what it's called. Break. In here. Oh, it might be. Is that? Hey, there we go. Longest name ever. Detail is a great collections class, or not class, not package, but it is also has some of the most absurd names ever. Okay. Hmm. What the hell? So, hold on. That would just make me assume, therefore, that this is supposed to be not public. The class can be public, but the constructor should not be. Okay. Let's see, constants. Oh, here we go. already had a. Actually, hold on. Because it's the class path is the. What was it? What would you call it? Okay, let's just try something else because this is. So I realize I'm not doing this the way I usually do. Yeah, sucks. So, the way this is going to work is that I'm going to ask for a How's Minecraft do again? It's in So you get the yeah. This is perhaps one of the downsides of using an API that's external, is that I don't know if we can use I may have to just manually write this myself because we don't load resources from folders. We load it from jar files and zip folders, so just loading it from a file, quote unquote, is not helpful. Load from memory? Okay, let's see. Load from memory right here, okay. So you can... Hold on. So... Let me read this properly. Huh? How do we give it the data? So is, this is... Okay, so this is the... Where's the... Okay. Huh, okay. Okay. That might work then. Buffer... Yeah, so what we can do is we can use Java, okay, so what you can do is you can take an input stream in Java, which is loaded from some sort of source. In our case, it may be from class path, it may not be, because we're thinking about, Minecraft texture packs, of course, as I mentioned before, and even though this engine is not necessarily supposed to be just for Minecraft in case I ever use it in the future, that's a pretty simple change. So, but you can definitely convert an input stream to a byte buffer very easily. That's one of the easiest things you can do. So, you just read bytes from the input stream, and then you shove it into a freaking byte buffer, and then you can be like, here is the data, please load. So, let's go back to textures then. And that would be... Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and just make it to where we load it with the input stream directly, and then I'll convert the input stream from there. So, wait a minute. Oh, boo! Okay. Where would we go? I'm gonna go do Java NIO stuff, which luckily, I've done a lot of, and so I will feel at least slightly more fulfilled not being constantly confused at everything that I'm reading. Now, let's go, For some reason, clicking on byte buffer just completely freezes my IDE. I don't know why. Come on. There we go. Boom. Alright, so the way to do this is we're going to use a, it should be relatively simple. Can't we just read a byte? Nice byte of data from the input stream. Okay. Well, let's just assume that it'll allow me to do that. Okay. Should it be a native byte buffer? I guess it has to be. I can't wait for Project Panama to basically completely obliterate all APIs and game engines. That's going to be so fun whenever it just completely rewrites all the way that it does native access. And so it's like, well, that sucks. I have to rewrite everything. I don't think it'll be that extreme in terms of the compatibility. Java cares about its compatibility a lot, but Project Panama is going to be pretty great. Because it, from my understanding, is they're working on extremely efficient native memory and interoperability. So, eliminating basically the entire overhead. Now, how long it takes, I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna do. Okay. It's that. Okay. Okay. Boom. Very simple. Just doing this first, even though I don't think I'll ever need it, just to have it. What is it again? I forget. How do you create a byte buffer? I forget. Is it? Oh, it's allocate. Okay, there we go. You can let's do allocate direct, but this is nicer. Pretty sure this. I'm using that. I'm using the memory till one. Nice. I assume it's faster because it doesn't have to clear it. Well, I guess it doesn't really clear it in there either, because byte buffers are fun. This doesn't really make much of a difference. I don't know if it's faster or not. I assume it would be, considering why else have it other than just like redirect to allocate direct for byte buffer. But anyway, I digress. There we go. Okay. Um, where are we going here? Where the hell did I close it? No. There we go. Boom. What? So now what I will do is I will let's see. So how expensive is it to open an input stream? I imagine it's not going to be the quickest thing. Because this is just supposed to be like generic load the texture. We shouldn't ask at that time for the input stream. Okay, I need to create a new interface. No, think about I texture pack. There we go. Very important. is it called? Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh, hello there. Happy to see some enthusiasm about my videos. Um, I'm working on Minecraft Renewed, simply put, but we're working on a Vulkan implementation at the moment, and you know we're deep in the weeds, and we will be there uh, for a very long time. I hope not until September, but it probably will go even longer than September. Just don't know. But I'm trying to get the rendering engine remade for the mod, and when it is done, it will hopefully be nice and performant. But till then, I got a lot of work to do. So I don't know why we want the that to be the case, but is it possible to get the index of something for it's linked hash map? So find. Is there? Wow, there isn't even a description for this. Okay. Cool. Actually, let's see. Is it? Is it read only? Huh? What? Huh? Huh? What? Okay, that doesn't make sense, but sure. Oh, because you're defining all the methods. That's how it makes sense. Makes a read-only thing. I mean, you can kind of just treat it as a list anyway. Like, pretty sure. No, you can't. Of course you can't. Addressing the game design issues. I guess to some degree, it's performance is a big thing, and then also the visual fidelity of the game. And it's certainly a gripe that I have with modern Minecraft, but it's not a game design per se thing like all the things I was talking about in that video. I mean, of course it is is part of the game design, but it's not. Performance is not a focus whenever you're trying to design features. It's more so whenever you're designing an engine. So I consider them separate topics. Let's see, object lists. Looking for a unmodifiable. Yeah. Okay. I can't believe how many because I don't want my mod to be dependent on any other mods. That's one of the key things about Minecraft Renewed. It's very standalone. The whole point of the project was that I would be developing it for a super long time. So I don't really want to be tied up in a whole bunch of other people's copyright nonsense. Now, there are some exceptions, I guess, where I'm considering using someone's graphical API or GUI API, but that is to be seen. If the copyright's super absurd, then I'm gonna be like, nah, I'll just deal with it myself, I guess. Which will suck, but if it's the way it's supposed to, or it's going to be, then it's going to be that way. Let's see. It returns it as an object collection, which is very infuriating, considering it literally has it as an array, and I would just, like, is there a to array? Let's see. It's the problem with using freaking, it sucks. Okay. I mean, I know what to do. I think it's rather an inefficient way to view the collection here. Not sure why insertion order really matters. But... I don't plan on going that far. In terms of, I guess, the features, but... I treat this more as a game development than I do as a mod development, even though I guess it would be classified as a mod. I think it's probably, I mean, they could, but it's not really tweaks. They'd have to overhaul the entire game. Oh, version 1.0 is a bit different than what I plan on in the future, mostly because I have to fix a lot of different things at once. So, I mean, other than that, I'm just like working on various things. But because the game whenever I first started was not the way I like it to be in general, I would have had to make it to where it is at minimum the way of which I would deem it acceptable before I can start working on proper feature updates, which is kind of what it is at right now. Although this rendering engine thing also ties into the lighting engine, which, even though I tried my best, it still kicked my ass, and it is not. It is going the way of the dodo in the next update. There will be no more lighting engine. It will just be rendered, and mob light values will be calculated on the spot. So I may use some sort of caching mechanism, but who knows? that is to be seen. So it could very easily see some sort of caching mechanism for light, so you don't have to calculate it so annoyingly precisely. The current milestone is to get the new rendering engine, and therefore the foundation is complete. And then after that, I'll work on things like the Nether update, and the Skylands update. So one of the annoying things I have to work on after get the rendering working is I'll be investigating custom models for every single block in the entire game. Now, I hope that instance rendering can help with that, but I don't know. However, with instance rendering, it may be, to some degree, memory intensive, because the way I would probably end up rendering it would... I'm not saying this is guaranteed, I'm just hypothesizing what it would have to be. Because instance rendering is where it assumes a model, and then that model can be rotated, translated, or scaled. And copied all about, and it's super fast compared to normal rendering, but of course that rigidity in the vertices means that you'd have to store different copies of the same model if you did some sort of culling mechanism, or I guess the way Minecraft does culling, which is block face intended. So I have not been to uni. So also, it looks like we will have to be using indexed linked hash maps, which is very quote-unquote fun. I've never heard of an indexed linked hash map. I'm not precisely sure. He created it himself. Of course he did. Which I'm not willing. I'd rather just use an object linked hash map. Now, not precisely sure why we need indexes, considering we already have string indexes, but I guess I'll read on. Not sure why we need to preserve the order, or need to preserve the order. I'm not really keen on that. So I believe that works. I treat this as a hobby, so it's not like probably not going to be a job opportunity, but if it is, it is. I just don't really plan on going to uni, or college as we call it in the United States. Let's see. Wait, what? Thoughts on these tweets by Notch, and he regrets adding slabs for Mine. Did he say specifically for Minecraft or Nude? Oh wait, no. Oh, and I think I understand what you're saying. I don't really agree with that. Because I don't really care what people specifically want in a block. Even if they keep asking for, we want this shape, we want this shape, and we want this shape, I don't really care. I'm fine leaving it to the shapes that are there and fit with the style. And I think that limiting yourself to just blocks, pure cubes, is not very. I don't agree. I just don't think it's a good option. Mostly just because the variety in just cubes is bad, and I don't think that you necessarily have to give in to, let's just make it to where you can modify every single vertex exactly how you want it with precisely the texture you want. Like that, there's a big difference there. Which I assume was what he's getting at, is like this slope. No, I'm not adding vertical slabs. I think that people can make do with the blocks, and I think that adds a lot of detail to the game. And I think that part of what makes Minecraft fun is that there are constraints on the building materials. And that's one of the reasons why I dislike modern Minecraft building, because there's just too many building materials. Too many building materials, too many blocks to choose from. So, I'm thinking with instance rendering, it actually could make rendering extremely performant. Now, I assume that would require, I guess you'd either do like an A/B test, which I don't know if I want to do that for now. Compared to drawing a mesh to instance rendering every single block that can be instance rendering, it can be rendered in an instance way. Or you can do the compromise, which is things that are just a raw mesh can be drawn like a raw mesh. But like custom models, I'm thinking more so like partial blocks, like fences and stairs and slabs. Honestly, actually slabs could be really rendered in that old manner because they're super simple. In fact, I do render them that way. It's just, I don't know which one's better, but I would love to use instance rendering as much as I can, because I know that I've at least heard that it's much better than just normal rendering. But that also assumes, in a lot of cases, that there are lots of meshes. In Minecraft, there's like maybe 20,000 if you're lucky. So it really depends, though, because if we're using like custom models, it may be better just to do they profile one against the other. I think it's wise if there are custom models to use instance rendering, but if there isn't, to use more normal rendering methods. That makes the most sense to me. And as I described before, it's because models are very complicated and they tend to have like thousands of vertices. So it would make sense to instance them if they're basically all the same, except for some are rotated and some are not. In fact, with instance rendering, we could legit do like the rotated like the natural textures or whatever that Optifine does, where it rotates the blocks. So, I don't know. And I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm also saying that perhaps make everything custom models, because it'd be more fun that way. Although we can always just do tessellation. That also helps. I think tessellation might be the better idea. Is it called tessellation? It's where you create the optical illusion of there being indenting and into meshes by virtue of the texture. To where, like, if you look at it from the side, it looks, yeah, actually, it depends on how you make it. You do it, but sometimes you can make it to where whenever you look down on it, it looks like it's three-dimensional, but when you look sideways, it's not. Or you can make it to where it's legit just three-dimensional. And I guess you could always just have a raw mesh underneath it and then the additional model stuff on top, but it's neither here nor there. We are so far away from that. We are like months away, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Although it is fun, we'll take a break and do that. Alright, so... Yeah, extruding. In Minecraft texture packs, the way they do it is they just add extra vertices, custom models. Because there isn't like there isn't materials like that, or custom textures. It's just everything is the same, so you have to get creative, and it's very taxing on the performance. So. The first thing I want to do is be able to make it to where I can... The game, roughly speaking, looks like Minecraft, the way it was before. And then after I do that, and I get lighting, and then work on the shaders, and then the last thing I'm going to do is work on assets. Asset loading, and... Well, asset loading already... Model loading already exists, but... I mean, like, into the rendering of the game. Anyway. One of the nice things about the way that it will be coded from then on with models, is that first of all I need is like Blender or something, and I can just create blocks, which is very nice. I don't have to sit there and like fine-tune freaking... I spent so long just fine-tuning block vertices and placing new quads. It's a whole nightmare. But what's funny is it may not even be necessary to have the ability to place individual vertices like I can currently, which is how Minecraft does things, of course, if there are models that are pre-baked, but still may be nice to have them in some circumstances where you have like dynamic meshes. Pistons are not a good example of that, by the way, because you could just have two models that interlock, which is very easy. Turns out, whenever you make things... whenever you make things more modern and advanced, things get performant and look better at the same time. Wow. It will still be funny block game, though. I hope, at least. So... What am I reading? It's always been for 1.5.2. Although you don't really need any particular Minecraft? Well, I chose 1.5.2 because I didn't choose 1.5.2 as the best answer. It's the funniest answer at the very least. I chose it because the guy who was working on this mod before me, because I got interested in his mod, and then I was like, and he was like, "Yo, just take the mod because I'm not working on it anymore." Chose 1.5.2, but I think 1.5.2 is a good choice because it doesn't have horses, so that's good. It doesn't have any of the stupid stuff from like 1.8 and on, but it does have, of course, it has the redstone, it has quartz, it has all this sort of stuff. But some of the other nice things is that it's much easier to remove the structures that I don't want. Remove the end, which I did. Replace it with the Skylands, which was quite an ordeal, but it was fun. And just in general, the infrastructure it's a nice medium between beta 1.7.3, which has a very limited engine, and modern, complicated Tower of Babel nonsense. So there is a Skylands dimension, yes. I added it recently, although there was a Skylands world type in the past. If you had a Skylands world type in the past, it will convert it into that being your Skylands dimension. I haven't actually, I don't know if I've tested it, but I think it does at least. And the way it works is to get the Skylands, you need to get above the clouds. Well, you have to go a tiny bit. Actually, I think all you have to do is get into the clouds, but you have to get above the clouds, and then you go into the Skylands. Very simple. And then when you go to the Skylands, you're on your ballistic trajectory, and you gotta somehow land. So you gotta build this gigantic TNT cannon and launch yourself into the Skylands, and then land on land without killing yourself. It's very fun. The only thing I do not recommend is because the lighting engine does not work very well with native compiling. You will have a very miserable time with the Skylands because there's too many blocks that need to be lit, and so you just spend absolutely ages waiting for the whole world to load, not have gigantic black shadows, which is why I hope that with the new update, although technically it will actually be fixed with the next update, but that issue would be anyway. Even if I didn't do this change, I think with the new change it'll be better, and everything will look pretty. So I did spend a lot of time testing the balance of TNT and TNT cannons and all that to allow players to jump into the Sky Dimension. So the Sky Dimension will eventually have its own structures and stuff. And it does share the same biome map as the overworld. So a whole lot of fun. You can also get up there in creative mode just by flying, if you'd like, but it's boring. You're just holding the spacebar forever. So, anyway. I think I'm going to... Let's see how long am I streaming for. Is there like a design document? I mean, I guess there kind of is. I mean, I have like a feature document for like when I'm brainstorming, but mostly it's just a changelog. This is found on the Gilded as well for the I probably should be posting that. I forgot to. The is that correct? It is correct. Okay, cool. The Gilded is here. Yeah, but the changelog document has most of what you'd be asking for. There are some small things that are not in here. Most of them are just like insignificant, or I just forgot to. But yep, there's a whole lot. There's freaking 8 pages. Yeah, very nice. I'm hoping to find some, or not find, but I hope that in the future there will be a lot more people playing. fault anyone for not playing right now because the lighting engine is just so unbelievably obnoxious that it's just like I sympathize with it. Yeah. Yep. I hear every single notification because there's not people talking yet. Uh, uh, no, there isn't. You can't just use a Discord. So, I mean, I did write this in FAQ, but since you're here, I might as well re-explain it. Basically, the guy who was working on this mod before me got falsely accused in by hackers, Minecraft hackers. By the way, very poor hackers. They're terrible hackers. That the guy was spreading malware. It wasn't, of course, and that they wanted the source code to confirm that, and he said no way. And so then his Discord got banned, his whole account and the server. So I'm not gonna be on using Discord for this because I feel like people will be stupid. And even if I were to submit something like I did here, where I said, "Yo," not in this exact wording, but essentially to the guild mods that this may happen, I don't really trust Discord admins to be very intelligent. Well, what's good is that since Guild is a smaller platform, its moderators are more likely to be more friendly because they don't have many tickets, and less likely to be overwhelmed, which also helps a lot. The simple question is, I don't know, but I hope. So, and plus, it should help filter out a lot of people who aren't that serious because they have to create an account just to be here if they're not already using Guilded. So, speaking of, I need to evict someone from the server, which I forgot was doing weird nonsense. Did I? Okay. I think I'm going to take a break from programming because I've been doing this for an hour and 40 minutes. Somehow only an hour and 40 minutes. I don't know how. Feels like it's been forever. I am getting exhausted from doing this because Vulkan is very complicated. And I don't understand half of it, so. But what's nice is we can use GLSL shaders, so that will help a lot in the future. I can, in fact, if I really want to, which I don't really want to, but if, I mean, I guess we can at least test them, just import some other people's shaders and see what happens. I don't know if I'm quite going yet, but the thing I have to do next is very confusing. So, confusing in terms of it's very different from what I have currently implemented, and so I have to discern what is needed and what's not. So, I'd rather do that later. And with that, I wonder if the, oh, it is. It's still there. Hold on. Very nice. This is this is one of the backgrounds from an older version of the game. Also, you can see it's bleeding in a little too much. Oops. There we go. I didn't realize that was that way. A little bit embarrassed, but that's what it is. I am using GitHub, but actually I'm kind of curious how much has changed. Only 68 files somehow. Because whenever you're not doing macro stuff, you're just kind of very fun. I mean, not really. We added a lot of classes. You know. Well, anyway. 68 change files. I mean, I'm used to seeing like hundreds or thousands, so like beta patch 65. Assuming it's gonna load. Huh? What do you mean? So beta patch 64 changed almost 1,200 files. 63 also changed about 1,200 files. Why is this not loading? Interesting. Well, doesn't matter. Yep. Another many files. Anyway, there's just a lot of files. No, it's a lot of smaller changes because I tend to replace a lot of infrastructure for APIs. Like, for example, and also just syntax. I tend to fix some of the syntax, and there's this 12-hour marathon stream where I removed a bunch of unnecessary pieces of code. That was fun. Actually, kind of was fun. But and then recently I was working on a new Frustum implementation, which was fun. I mean, it was very interesting. I learned a lot, but that changed a lot of stuff in the rendering code, mostly between a few classes, but anyway. And then there was also changing from a object-based vector 3 implementation to a float or double array-based implementation using a static math class. I guess I can maybe let's show you. The main benefit of using those using static methods in those, or using just like a static implementation like that, is that the arrays are immutable and they are primitive, so it's much easier for the JVM to optimize those arrays. Let's see, where are we? Looking. It would be here. So there's a whole lot of stuff in here. It's fun, in air quotes. And then I had to go through and change every single reference of the in-house Vector 3 class. As well as, one of the nice benefits, by the way, any abstraction that costs you. Yep. One of the reasons why I wanted to move away from Vector 3s in the first place was there was a Vector 3 pool where they, for whatever reason, every single game tick, they take all of the Vector 3s, they're no longer in use. It's the same for bounding boxes, by the way. And then they wipe them, and then they're reused up to a certain limit. And then if it keeps hitting that limit a certain number of times, then it increases the size of it, which is rather ingenious in my opinion. However, it still is still kind of slow, especially because it's constantly creating new Vector 3s every single time you do a Vector 3 operation, rather than just modifying it. So, let's see. Hold on. That's a good one. World. There's gonna be a lot of issues here. Actually, there aren't as many as I thought there would be. Impressive. Oh, here's the old lighting engine that I just completely removed, but didn't. Well, not completely, but just eviscerated. Actually, here's a good example. So, where would it be? It's a bit different because I'm let's see, right. Yeah, here we go. Some Vector 3. Let's see. Is there much of this? It's only a little bit in this class, but there is related stuff. What is nice is that you can get the length and stuff relatively easily, and then here we go. Is that one of them? No. You can still see here. This is the pool-based implementation. I haven't bothered fixing it yet, but anyway, this kicked my ass entirely. because it was I guess linked ever so slightly off, and it completely ruined ray tracing. Now it's fixed, of course, but some of the nice stuff about is all of this is that for the most part these are void methods. Of course, they're not stackable, but they allow for rather the main reason why they're static, final too, but the reason why they're static and they're using primitive data sets is because therefore whenever the JVM is what do we call it, inlining, there we go, the code, inlining methods, it's very simple for it to inline them because it's a very few number of lines that are repeated very frequently, which is a very nice optimization, might I add. So I don't actually know what performance increase I got from it, but I assume it's on the ticking end, server tick, which makes it not very noticed. No, it's not very noticed. There's not much noticeability of that, however. Yeah. The game does have a server implementation, but because it uses Java Swing, you can't use the UI. You have to use the terminal, which I find very sad because I spent a lot of time making dark mode so people's eyes don't bleed. Java Swing does not work with the GraalVM yet. Registered trademark. That's a lot of how Graal works. It's like yet, not yet. You can't even load Swing at almost at all with Swing, Java, AWT, whatever, on Linux. So that kind of sucks. But even on Windows, you can't load the UI, so you have to use terminal. So it will crash otherwise. But what is nice is that the game is preload. The game is a all-in-one client. It contains the client and the server. So all you need to do is just launch the client with the server parameter, and then it will launch the server instead. And it will change the basically whole properties of the program. So I hope that with the next update, the game will be debugging. So I have not had any experience yet with actually debugging Vulkan because we're still in the abstract, write all the code phase. However, I do expect that there will be lots of issues. In fact, the game might not even open for like a week. And then afterward, the game might not even open to the world for another week. So, who knows? And even then, there will be plenty of graphical bugs. I guess we'll see. But, I mean, there is a decent bit of opportunity to, there's a whole lot here. So here's the simple way we do things here. In Java, we add a bunch of print statements everywhere. Or we do breakpoints. Shader bugs will be something I'll work on probably a decent bit later. However, I'll implement like a basic like pass-through shader for like vertices and stuff like that. I'm thinking just more so getting the thing to actually open, considering I'm having to embed a completely different Vulkan engine into Minecraft. So, well, embed, I guess, to make it compatible with. There's a reason why I have them in my separate little package, is because I would like it to not be the way that it is. In terms of Minecraft having its engine embedded into it. So now I'm making it where it has a bunch of interfaces and interoperability so that I can eventually reuse this later. Now, one of the fun things I was doing, I think like a few days. Was it a few days? Maybe it took like a day. I don't know. So with GraalVM, you have to either use some sort of Java agent, or you have to manually put in all the different resources and all the different classes that use reflection, native access, lambdas, serialization, etc. So what I have done is I have created a nice little API to register access. And what's nice about it is, by default, it since this is embedded with the rendering engine and all that, it will automatically add the rendering engine to be checked for JNI stuff, and then the game register which is here. This, of course, will then... Oh, wait. This, of course, then adds all the different resources. And this, I think, is a very nice solution that I will not be able to test until much later. Honestly, I don't even know why that client and server are in their own separate classes. I'm not too versed with that. However, I will be doing this. If it's a bug, it can get a little bit fuzzy. So if it's... All it really means if it's a bug, it means it's unintentional. Now, if it's game breaking, if it's... It really depends on what it is with the bugs. The real question is, this is 1.5 redstone, so is it important to 1.5 redstone? If the answer is no, then clearly it can be patched. Now, if it's important, the real question is, what is it capable of doing? If it's causing issues in terms of bugginess, in terms of duplication, bugginess in terms of server tick rate, there is pistons, yes. If it's the main thing with a bug is that if it's causing unintended consequences such that it makes the game worse. And worse is more so in the perspective of the game design. Then yes, it's a problem. But yeah. Are you talking about the thing where pistons will like stay activated whenever you remove some certain redstone combination? And then they'll like suddenly do something stupid? Because if that's what you're talking about, I've seen it with beta 1.7.3 and it's very broken. You're talking about like some, I don't know. It really just depends on what it's capable of doing. And or whether it makes redstone harder to use. So that would be the primary concern. Hold on a minute. guess I'm gonna go check that for a second, because I'm actually rather interested in this. Is Minecraft visible? It's not. Are we able to see things? We are able to see things. Alright, cool. We'll move this over to the center. Alright. Oh, this is very dark. There we go. Welcome to the Nether, where everything is absurdly dark. Yep. But we can always test things here. And of course, because the lighting engine is broken, we cannot see that much. Now, okay, can we? There we go. Oh, it's actually, dang it. Okay, let me make it full screen. But I imagine what you're talking about, and we can look at things. Also, very lovely piston texture that I changed. Would be something akin to this. Ah. You serious? It's actually kind of funny. Is this what you're talking about? Okay, well that's certainly not intended behavior. I'll just say that much. Let's see what happens if I put it on a slab. Hold on. Make sure that this actually is the issue I think you're talking about. Okay, yeah, it is activating here. Okay. You're talking about quasi-connectivity. Oh, that? Huh. Oh, my ears are hurting. Please, stop. My ears hurt. It's too loud. So... What? Okay, what's underneath that? Huh. Wait a minute. Wait, what? Huh. Wait a minute. Wait, what? So, let's see how they make it. It's like... Okay, how did they do it again? What? Am I not doing it right? I feel like I'm not doing it right, because I don't see... What? Is there like a particular direction that it has to be in? Okay, I'm gonna put like, just for the sake of parody, just precise the way he has it in the video. I don't... What? This is mean. Literally, okay, the only thing that could change is, like, the direction of the frickin' piston, but this doesn't... Okay, there we go. Huh. Does it have to be a redstone lamp? Huh. So, does this only work vertically? It's also like... Because, like, if I do... Yeah, let's do this again. So, so is it connecting to the block that's right here? Where I'm gonna put this glass block. Is that what's causing it? And it's detecting redstone right here? So what you're saying is that this makes absolutely no sense to be removed immediately. No, but I mean, this is pretty stupid. What? Okay. That's not what I wanted. I just want to... Can I just have a door? Okay. What is this code? This is so dumb. Like, I won't even deactivate. Excuse me? This seems very broken. Just in terms of the logic of redstone, I don't think I'm gonna keep it like this. I hate to say. It just doesn't... Like, maybe it makes sense whenever you get used to it, but in terms of the way redstone is supposed to be, that doesn't make any sense. I think it's just because it's one man programming redstone, and he didn't realize that he made a little mistake, and then future developers were cowards, and so they didn't go ahead and fix it. Because the Minecraft community gets upset over everything. So, yeah. Which is where a lot of my gripes with the game come from, to be honest. But, the main thing I'd say regarding its, how useful it is, right, is... Here's the thing. One of my biggest things is ensuring that things like mob grinders don't work. And I can very easily see how elaborate redstone can cause mob spawners to work much more effectively, and as well as automated farms and the like. So I may remove it on that basis. However, that is yet to be seen. I will add... I love it when people come into my comment section and just like, are like, were you aware of this bug? And I'm like, no, I was not. Okay. I'll go ahead and fix it at some point. So yeah, I keep in mind I've already made it to where mob farms are obnoxious to make. At least there's no iron golems, there's no villagers, so that's already a pretty big win. There's only mob spawners spawn in the world. Yeah. It's just not intuitive. One of the funny things is that I've seen a beta 1.7.3 bug, which I tried replicating here to make sure that it didn't work, which allowed you to break bedrock with just a weird simple combination of pistons, and I could not get it to work. It just would not activate. So, I'm very happy about that. Also, you may notice we have Minecraft 1.8 seasons, which I'm also very happy about. Anyway, that took a while. Using an Ender Dragon to unloaded chunks. There is no end, so there's that. I don't know what that means or what the Ender Dragon thing is, but we've already safeguarded against that. There is no end, so there cannot be an Ender Dragon nor Enderman. There isn't even Nether portals. There's only Nether rifts, which are very different. So when I said I wanted to make the game different and, you know, less buggy and hopefully design better, I didn't mean like just try to solve Minecraft's issues. I wanted to create my own issues I'd have to solve, very clearly. No, but it is nice not having to solve Minecraft's issues just by removing the things that I don't really want anyway. The only boss that exists is the Wither at the moment. Although you really can't even fight it, I don't think. The Wither skeletons don't spawn, but it does exist. Are you talking about the Ender Egg? The Ender Egg, I don't think that exists as a block. Hold on. Easiest thing is to open the code, go to blocks. And, oh, that's not helpful. Yeah, dragon egg is removed. That's the ID gap there. Oh, what's fun is because there's only one dragon egg that can't exist in one world at the same time, is I can replace that with whatever block I want. So yep. I would describe this as more similar to Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 than to Minecraft Release 1.0. And even then, it's not even that similar to Beta 1.7.3 because a lot of the textures are way different. Like, just... let's see, here's some nice examples. We have lots of mossy cobblestone and mossy brick, and I had a nice, texture artist make these for me. So, it's more like a mixed beta-alpha vibe, is the way I describe it. But, yeah. Very fun. I mean, like, from a normal Minecraft mod perspective, you'd be like, you know what? The frame rate's not terrible. 250, not terrible. The RAM seems kind of nice. The lighting engine is a bit meh. Why don't you just keep developing it like this? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. But, the engine on the internals is a nightmare. Input is very lackluster, to say one thing. The rendering is also kind of rough, and there is no shaders, because of course there isn't. That hasn't come until Minecraft Release 1.7, because they start using proper GL 2.0. But also we get to have nice graphics, so that's always enough. The whole point of the new lighting system, by the way, is and all this sort of rendering stuff is partially to the lighting engine, but also just to make the game look better. I don't expect it to look too much different on the surface. That's very funny you say that, because there's no enchanting in Minecraft Renewed. There's a different set of tools, slightly different set of tools. So we have wood through diamond, of course, vanilla, and then we have reinforced, which is just more durability, less speed. The reinforced gold ones all have special properties. This one actually allows you to they have enchantments themselves, but they're very basic enchantments. You have step assist with golden boots. Very nice. But anyway, and then there's quartz edged, which are faster with slightly more durability. Which makes sense because you just added another tip onto the thing. So also, I fixed the give command. I believe. Oh, yeah, these underscores. Right. By the way, I can literally call it like. The give command is very versatile. It should be slightly faster, but it doesn't appear to be. Is it? Not sure. Oh, and also this. So, we also have this tools thing, which is fun. This is a really old feature, to be honest, but I find it a lot of fun. And then, yeah, you can still input item IDs, but you can also input names. Like I can still give myself the numerical. So you have more. It's like it's basically Minecraft 1.7 give command where you had both, which I find preferable. Anyway, and then you can. One of the fun things, and this isn't in the changelog, but that's fine, is that you can also. We have old leather. I think by default it's brown, which is fun. As you can see, as opposed to the weird like. It's not orange. I guess I could make it orange. I think the brown looks better though. So if you have chain. Also, there is a heal command. Oh, also, I forgot about this. The reason why everything here is orange is because it's not dimension effective, and it takes a whole lot more durability to use. We only broke a few blocks in it. Actually, let me show you. 1507 goes down to 1503. So don't use your tools here that you value. Otherwise, they will get destroyed very easily. Including armor. So, one of the nice things about chain armor, other than of course apparently just getting completely right in this, is that it should. Yep, you heard that noise. I hope. Let me turn it up. Actually, can I even? I'll pause the music. I'm just gonna sit here and take it, and you can listen. You heard that noise. Every time you hear that noise, it's canceling damage. It's a small chance. I don't remember what the full percentage is. I'll have to go check the changelog, but yeah. Makes chain actually interesting for combat. I believe it's crafted with iron bars, not fire. Yeah. Is it with fire? I actually don't know. Nope. Why was it crafted with fire? I don't. It's so dumb. Let's see. I don't think I've given gold any particular new uses, other than when you reinforce it. But, yeah. Oh, see ya. I think this mod will be a whole bunch of fun whenever it's not broken. Whenever you don't just play around in creative. So, that'll be fun. It'll be fun whenever we can enjoy good old Minecraft again, so. Oh, I can't. Oh, can I run? I can run. That's nice. Only for a little bit. What is it called? Oh. Nope. Nope. Is wait, what? Is this... okay. It's called Spawn? Okay. I hate Game of Thrones potion. Impressive. We can spawn an empty item. Can I pick up that item? Oh, yep. I didn't know this was a thing. Yeah, but I can't get like a creeper spawn egg or a gas spawn egg. That is nice. So, I believe gas should. There you are. You suck at aiming. Oh man. Creatures down very far. Hold on. I guess creatures in general. There we go. Oh, we got him! I'm very happy with that. But there's so far. Welcome to the underworld. I hope you brought a torch or two. Or 500. Oh, yep. And this is why we love the lighting engine. Is whenever it gets behind on everything, because of course it does. Come on. Where is it? And this is why I don't recommend people playing this version, because it's very buggy. Mostly the lighting engine, though. Can't wait to evict the lighting engine from existence. Anyway. Very fun. I hope that Minecraft Renewed will succeed. And at least, at the very least, I will enjoy playing it. So, yes. And with that, we are finally ending the stream. So, I hope whoever's watching enjoys, or I guess enjoyed. I hope to stream again soon, but yeah. Have a good day.